My billionaire father. Are we truly going to break up? Yi Fan asked, gazing at the striking young lady before him, whose figure was impeccable and whose beauty could easily score 80 points at the very least. The young lady donned white stockings, complemented by a white sweatshirt and a checkered miniskirt, exuding a vibrant sense of youthfulness. Though he had only traversed into this new life for less than a month, he had experienced extraordinary moments with this enchanting woman. It could be said that she had successfully guided him from naivety to maturity. Upon hearing the news of their impending separation, a sense of reluctance inevitably welled up within him. Moreover, having spent considerable time together, a bond had undeniably formed. Next semester marks the beginning of our senior year. I believe we ought to exhibit a bit more maturity, she continued. Yesterday, a wealthy patron showered my live stream with gifts totaling 1 million yuan. Do you possess anything comparable? That is indeed 1 million. Even if we split 50-50, I would still receive 500,000. Furthermore, that affluent individual has expressed his desire to support me, offering a monthly allowance of 50,000 yuan. Yi Fan inhaled deeply, fixing his gaze upon the girl as he implored, "Bai Shui, after all this time, do you truly believe our relationship is worth less than 50,000? Bai Shui curled her lips into a smirk, revealing a hint of derision. Feelings? They're merely a form of mutual exploitation. We are on the brink of entering society, yet you still harbor such naive notions. Indeed, it was I who pursued you in the beginning, which may have led you, Yi Fan, to mistakenly believe that I held deep affections for you. However, at that time, it was merely my vanity that compelled me to aggressively pursue you, the campus heartthrob, solely to bask in the envious glances of other girls. But now, as I stand on the brink of entering society, my heart craves something far more substantial. I yearn for a vast expanse of opportunities, a land where I need not worry about my sustenance for a lifetime. This you cannot provide. You are but a struggling student who emerged from an orphanage, juggling part-time work alongside your studies in the future. You may not even have the means to buy me a handbag. Nonetheless, I must express my gratitude for the splendid youth you have gifted me. A man of your caliber, possessing both inner and outer strength, may be a rarity I encounter in the future." At that moment, a BMW X7 came to a halt beside Bai Shui and Yi Fan. The door swung open, and a portly man adorned in gold and silver descended from the back seat, accompanied by 2 bodyguards clad in black suits. Upon catching sight of this rotund gentleman, Bai Shui's eyes sparkled with delight as she eagerly approached him. "Brother Hu, you have finally arrived. I've missed you terribly." Turning to Yi Fan, she added, "This is my new boyfriend, so you needn't trouble me any longer." Seeing Bai Shui blissfully nestled against the chubby man, Yi Fan's lips quivered slightly, and he could only manage to utter 2 words, "Goodbye." He had no desire to behold this woman again, not even for a fleeting second. "Wait a moment," the portly man behind Yi Fan interjected. Yi Fan's lips curled into a cold smirk. Was he about to put on a show? Nevertheless, he continued his relentless stride. "I instructed you to wait a moment. Quickly, bodyguards, obstruct him." Yi Fan found his path obstructed by 2 imposing bodyguards clad in black suits. Without hesitation, he pulled out his phone and turned to the rotund man, saying, "You wish to strike me? Let me inform you that my phone is equipped with a 1-button emergency alert, and there are surveillance cameras in the vicinity." To his surprise, the portly man merely chuckled and waved his hand dismissively. "Do not misunderstand. I do not intend to harm you." "Oh, then what is your intention?" Yi Fan inquired, a slight frown creasing his brow. "Please remove the first 2 characters," the chubby man replied with a grin. At this, Yi Fan was momentarily taken aback, unable to process the implication. When realization dawned upon him, a wave of nausea washed over him, inducing a desire to retch. Beside the rotund man, Bai Shui's lips parted slightly, her expression one of astonishment. She had not anticipated such a perverse proclivity from him. The corpulent man continued, "I find you quite appealing. Should you agree to accompany me in women's attire, I shall provide you with a monthly allowance of 500,000. What say you?" Yi Fan gritted his teeth in indignation. Dream on. The audacity was utterly intolerable. Very well, no need for women's clothing. The rotund man misinterpreted Yi Fan's reluctance as an aversion to the garments. Desiring to avoid the repugnant visage of the man any longer, Yi Fan turned away and addressed the 2 bodyguards, "Step aside." The portly man, feeling overlooked, grew irate. "Do not mistake my civility for weakness." Confirming host identity, daily sign-in system, binding successful. A chilling, synthesized voice echoed in Yi Fan's mind. A daily sign-in system? It seemed he had stumbled upon a stroke of fortune. An ordinary individual who indulges in online novels during leisure time, Yifan naturally understood what a system entailed. It appeared that he was destined for greatness. A luminous screen materialized before his retina. Name, Yifan. Age, 21. Height, 185 centimeters. Appearance, 93 items. None. Skills, none. The host is requested to confirm whether to proceed with the sign-in. Such an opportunity was one Yifan could not afford to miss. He silently recited, sign in. Sign in successful. As this is the inaugural sign-in, the reward is amplified by 99 times. Sign-in reward. Identity of the son of a wealthy tycoon. The son of a wealthy tycoon? Why do you feel no change at all? Was this system truly reliable? Suddenly, the sound of screeching brakes pierced Yifan's ears. Before he could comprehend the situation, several more screeches followed. He turned his head to the side. 3 vehicles were halted at the roadside, led by a Rolls-Royce Phantom, while the other 2 were BMWs. As the doors of the BMWs swung open, 6 imposing figures clad in black suits emerged, tall, muscular men, creating a striking visual impact. This unexpected scene left Yifan momentarily stunned, as did several others present. Being an ordinary individual, he had never encountered such a spectacle. Though Fatty Wong, who was a businessman, those 6 formidable men exuded far more presence than his 2 bodyguards. Their fierce yet composed gazes were unmistakably that of individuals far beyond the realm of ordinary protectors. A robust gentleman clad in a tailored suit opened the rear door of a Rolls-Royce, from which a man in his 40s gracefully descended. This man, with a dignified countenance and an imposing presence, unmistakably belonged to the upper echelons of society. Yi Tianhong, exclaimed the most corpulent individual present, his astonishment palpable. As a businessman, how could he not recognize this prominent figure, the wealthiest man in Huaxia? The Tianhong Group, which he established, spans multiple industries. Even an ordinary person would be familiar with his name. At that moment, Yifan also comprehended the gravity of the situation. This was indeed Yi Tianhong. He had previously found the man somewhat familiar, but now it struck him this was none other than the illustrious Yi Tianhong. The latter cast a commanding glance around the room before his eyes landed on Yifan, a spark of excitement igniting within them. With a slight tremor in his lips, he incredulously inquired, "Are you Yifan?" "Yes," Yifan responded, feeling somewhat bewildered. How could such a distinguished individual possibly know his name? Then, a thought struck him. Was it related to the system? Hadn't he just received an identity as the son of a tycoon as a reward for signing in? Could it be? Yifan was astonished by the system's extraordinary capabilities. Yi Tianhong, overwhelmed with joy and tears welling in his eyes, declared, "My son, at last, I have found you." The woman leaning against the corpulent man, Bai Shui, wore an expression of shock. What on earth was happening? What had she overlooked? Could a materialistic woman like her truly be unaware of who Yi Tianhong was? Could she not recognize the visage of the wealthiest man? The fact that Yi Tianhong himself had come to acknowledge his son could not possibly be a charade. Her legs quivered, and a wave of regret washed over her. The corpulent man and the 2 security guards wore expressions of disbelief as well. What on earth is happening? Can someone please enlighten me? This fellow turns out to be the son of the wealthiest man. Yi Tianhong stepped forward, placing his hands gently on Yifan's shoulders. With a sincere expression, he said, "My son, I understand that this may be difficult for you to comprehend at the moment, but please trust that I am indeed your father." Chapter 2. Fury. I shall elaborate on the specifics later, Yi Tianhong stated, his gaze sharply scanning the 2 bodyguards brought by the rotund man. In a cold tone, he remarked, "So, it seems you were intending to bully my son?" At this moment, the rotund man no longer exuded any arrogance. He swallowed hard and, without a hint of reluctance, pushed Bai Shui aside. With a face full of ingratiating smiles, he addressed Yi Tianhong, saying, "Master Hong, it is a grave misunderstanding. How could I ever dare to bully your son?" The largest client of his company was none other than Tianhong Group. If he were to offend the chairman of Tianhong Group, the repercussions for his company would be devastating. "Oh?" Yi Tianhong turned his gaze towards Yifan. "He truly did not bully you?" The rotund man interjected hastily, "Young Master Yi, you must speak the truth. I have not harmed even a single hair on your head." Yifan remained silent for a moment before responding, "He indeed did not harm me." The rotund man's face brightened with relief. However, Yifan continued, "Yet, he did imply that if I refused his toast, he would resort to violence." The rotund man immediately waved his hands in denial, exclaiming, "I merely spoke in anger. Hitting someone is against the law. How could I, Wang Hu, ever engage in such illegal actions? Yi Fan snorted coldly, stating, I do not care whether you intended to strike me or not, but you dared to insult my character. A gentleman may be slain, but cannot be humiliated. Throughout my life, I have indeed endured much, yet nothing has ever made me feel as disgusted as today. The corpulent man silently lamented his predicament and hastily mustered the courage to explain, I merely expressed admiration for your esteemed son's striking appearance, and, given his rather modest attire, I proposed the notion of supporting him financially. However, I assure you, I never uttered a single word of insult, nor did I lay a finger upon him. My sole intention was to suggest an improvement to his circumstances. Improvement to his circumstances? Upon hearing the rotund man's words, Yi Fan nearly choked on his laughter, thinking to himself, had I known he was your son, I would never have uttered such a thing. Upon hearing this, Yi Tianhong observed Yi Fan's furious expression, his brows knitting together as a glint of icy fury flickered in his gaze. Without warning, he lifted his foot and delivered a swift kick. Ouch! The wealthy man fell to the ground, letting out a pained cry. Yi Fan was momentarily taken aback, astonished that a man nearing 50 could possess such formidable strength. The corpulent individual weighed no less than 300 pounds, yet Yi Tianhong effortlessly sent him sprawling. Showing no signs of faltering, the two bodyguards accompanying the rotund man attempted to intervene, but were immediately blocked by 6 other bodyguards. The portly man waved his hand, signaling his guards to refrain from any rash actions. After all, they were not only outmatched in status, but also in numbers, should a brawl ensue. It would prove to be a fruitless endeavor. Moreover, even if they were to physically confront Yu Tianhong, that influential figure could easily crush him with wealth alone. Yu Tianhong, still seething with rage, glared at the man and exclaimed, You, a mere bloated pig, dare to speak of supporting my son? Have you even taken a moment to reflect on your own worth? At this moment, Bai Shui hurriedly approached, tears streaming down her face as she implored, Yi Fan. It's all because of Tiger, ugh, Wang who threatened me, and that's why I had to end our relationship. My heartfelt sincerity towards you is as evident as the sun and moon. The words I just spoke were uttered with intent. I didn't want you to offend Wang Hu. He used to be a ruffian, surrounded by unscrupulous individuals, and I only said those things out of concern for your safety. You must believe me. Yi Tianhong placed a reassuring hand on Yi Fan's shoulder and said, Your father may not fully grasp the situation, but this is a matter that requires your own judgment. I respect your decision. Yi Fan stepped back, evading Bai Shui's outstretched hand, and coldly retorted, Bai Shui, I was blind to your true nature in the past. But now I see you clearly. There is absolutely no possibility for us. Yi Tianhong chuckled heartily as he pulled Yi Fan into the car. Just before departing, as if struck by a thought, he turned to the individual seated in the driver's seat and instructed, Ching, please investigate what business Wang Hu is involved in. If there is any collaboration with our group, terminate it immediately. Hearing this, Wang Hu, supported by 2 bodyguards, felt a chill run down his spine and hastily protested. Master Hong, you can't do this. If the collaboration is terminated, my company will suffer tremendous losses. When Wang Hu initially partnered with the Tianhong Group, he was overwhelmed with joy and did not set any breach of contract penalties. He believed that such a colossal entity as the Tianhong Group would never default. After all, in the realm of business, larger enterprises tend to prioritize integrity, and any breach would likely stem from their side. Once the Tianhong Group terminated its partnership, Wang Hu not only stood to gain nothing, but would also find himself in dire straits due to the unsold construction materials in the warehouse, leading to a severe cash flow crisis. Yi Tianhong offered no response, instructing Chung to drive away, seemingly indifferent to the remorseful expression on Bai Shui's face and the bitter disappointment etched on Wang Hu's. Inside the car, Yi Tianhong beamed at Yi Fan, speaking with gentle warmth. Indeed, you are my son. The more I look, the more I see your resemblance, and your charm grows ever more striking. You are the perfect embodiment of my lineage. At this moment, Yi Fan felt somewhat dreamlike, bewildered as he inquired, How can you be so certain that I am your son? A shadow of sorrow crossed Yi Tianhong's eyes as he replied, laden with remorse, Alas, it was entirely my fault.